The church was full. The choir was singing. The town was celebrating Easter morning. But standing outside the back door was a woman nobody wanted inside. A woman known by every man. And rejected by every woman. She believed the church had no place for someone like her. But that Easter morning, everything was about to change. Easter morning arrived with celebration across the town of Ibekwe. Church bells rang, families dressed in their finest clothes, and the streets were filled with greetings. Happy Easter. Christ is risen. But in a quiet corner of the town stood a woman named Ada. Most people knew her name, but they spoke it in whispers. Ada was a prostitute. Men visited her house at night, but during the day people avoided her. Women crossed the street when they saw her. Children were warned never to go near her. And on Easter morning, while the whole town walked proudly into church, Ada stood alone outside her small room. She watched them pass. Their laughter. Their bright clothes. Their joy. Church is not for people like me, she murmured. But something about the sound of the choir drifting through the air touched her heart. For the first time in many years, Ada felt a strange longing. Slowly, quietly, she walked toward the church. Not through the front gate. Through the back. She stood by the door, hidden behind the wall, listening. Inside, the pastor spoke. Easter reminds us that no life is too broken to be restored. Ada froze. Her heart beat fast. The pastor continued. The resurrection of Christ is proof that even what seems dead can live again. Ada felt tears rise in her eyes. Dead. That was exactly how she felt. Her dreams were dead. Her dignity was dead. Her hope was dead. Suddenly, the church door opened. A little girl stepped outside and saw Ada standing there. For a moment, Ada expected the child to run away. Instead, the girl smiled. "Are you coming in?" she asked. Ada quickly wiped her eyes. "I can't go inside," she whispered. "Why?" the girl asked innocently. Ada didn't know how to answer. Just then, the pastor walked toward the door and noticed her. There was a brief silence. Ada expected the usual reaction: judgment, whispers, rejection. But the pastor simply smiled gently. "You are welcome here," he said. The words struck her like thunder. No one had said that to her in years. Ada stepped inside slowly. Some people turned and stared. Others whispered. But the pastor continued speaking as if nothing unusual had happened. "Sometimes," he said, "the people who need Easter the most are the ones who feel they deserve it the least." Ada sat quietly at the back of the church. And as the choir began to sing again, something inside her began to change. Not instantly. Not magically. But a small spark of hope was lit. And that Easter morning, the town that once called Ada a sinner witnessed something unexpected. Not a scandal. Not a fall. But the beginning of a new life. Because sometimes the greatest essence of Easter is the miracle of a soul getting saved. Years later, something surprising happened in the same church. A large Easter conference was organized, and people came from many towns to listen to a powerful speaker. When the guest minister walked to the altar, the congregation was stunned. It was Ada. The same woman who once stood outside the church, ashamed to enter. Now she stood confidently behind the pulpit and said, "Many years ago, I came here through the back door because I thought God had no place for someone like me. But that Easter morning, I discovered something powerful. The resurrection is not only about Jesus rising from the grave. It is also about broken people rising from their past." The church that once whispered about her now stood and applauded. Because the greatest miracle that Easter was not just forgiveness. It was transformation. No sin is too big to hinder you from coming to Jesus, not even the ugly past you experienced. Jesus died and rose on the third day for you and me. Give him your past to take away and live a new life in him. Don't let his death and resurrection be in vain. Share this story for others to benefit. Kindly like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. God bless you.